Why are men getting beat down in society today? Men, I'd say over the past, I don't know, 20 years? I'd say at least over the past 10 years. I'd say since 2008, when the market plunged, a lot of men have gone downhill in the household. I think when the market crashed, a lot of men lost it. A lot of men, a lot of men took their own lives. That market dropped and they lost all faith in themselves because they lost a lot of money in the stock market. They lost faith. They thought it was their fault. Half their 401k went out the door. I saw signs that hang in there, don't kill yourself, dad signs driving to work. That's how bad it was back in 2008, 2009. Yeah, people were killing themselves, jumping out of windows at their office buildings and taking their own lives. Well, getting back to that, read an article today about men in the household, men in the workplace, just men in general, talking about how to get the beat down. And a lot of it has to do within social media as well, how they lost their place in power. Not so much in power, but just in the whole role of what men used to be. Just because of the fact that women want to have more power. And I don't believe in men having total power, but I believe in the Bible where it says, the men are like the leader in the household, and it comes God first, then the men, then, women, and it all comes together in that sort of fashion. But in today's society, men are just getting bashed, that they're not good enough in certain areas, that women are better, and then you've got all these gender things that are going on with just weird stuff with that. But it's amazing to see how these women politicians just smash men that they're not getting paid enough, or they don't get promotions, they don't get this and they don't get that, and making accusations against men, just like they did with Kavanaugh and the hearings with that. That is just ridiculous. And the Me Too movements and all that stuff, just men in general, gives them a bad name. There are a lot of bad men in this world that did bad things, but not all men are like that. And it's just disgusting me that in this race with the Democrats, that if you're a white male, you really don't have a chance of winning the race. It's a bad thing. If you're a man running for the Democratic race, you have to be, I guess, their best pick. And this is coming from them now. This is not coming from me. That you'd be better off if you were a gay black woman who were disabled somehow. That would be the perfect pick. That's coming from them now. That would be the perfect pick for a Democrat to run in that scenario. That would be the perfect pick. That if she had something wrong with her and she was gay, that would be the perfect pick for him. Why? Why does it have to be like that? But a white man cannot win the election. So my prediction is that Joe Biden is not going to win the election, or the pick for the Democratic Party. Bernie Sanders is not going to win the pick. It's either Kamala Harris or Michelle Obama or somebody like that. It's going to be a black woman or a woman of color or something like that is going to win the Democratic pick for the party. Because men are no good. White men are no good anymore because they've done everything wrong. We're slave owners. We've we fondle women. We've done all the bad things. We're racist. We're all this. We're just no good anymore. That's what it seems to be. Because if you're a white male, forget about it. That's the way it seems to me anyway. And they just bash it. And these men are just being so submissive and just, they seem to be wimps. You know, even my wife says that they're just like wimpy men being all bowing down. And they said, you know, if they're going to pick a running mate, it's definitely going to be a female. You know, yeah, you got to have a female. But why? Why? I mean, if it's going to be a candidate to run with you, why can't it be just a straight candidate that, you know, you would pick and run with, no matter if it's a male or a female? Why does it have to be a female? Now, I'm not female bashing here. I'm standing up for men, you know, to defend themselves. But if it's a good male running mate, you know, why not choose him over her? And that's the same way in the workplace. You know, just because you're a female, that doesn't mean you'll get the position. You know, if you're good, you're good. And if you are female, yeah, you get it too. You know, but just because you're a female and you cry and whine about it, I don't want to hear about it. You know, men need to stand up, but they're not doing that. They've got no balls, you know, to stand up for themselves anymore. And, you know, and a lot of households are run like that too. You know, women don't run the household. You know, I guess they do, and they do in a lot of ways in finances and stuff like that. And I appreciate that because my wife does a lot of things in this household that she does, and that's the way some households run. But when it comes to certain things, you know, the man's supposed to do certain things. And it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. The whole world has gotten out of order. You know, if you read the Bible, it goes a certain way. You know, women are supposed to be submissive, not in a way where submissive means bow down to your husband. Read the Bible. It's not supposed to be that way, but in a way to where, you know, you're supposed to be, you know, submissive to your husbands in the way that God tells you to do. That doesn't mean obey or anything like that. It doesn't mean that. So it's just the society has taken this to a different level to where they've just man bash. You can't be a white man running for the race. I'm telling you, people, this is the way it's going to be. The election, somebody's going to pop in. It's going to be a woman of color or something like that, or maybe Butterfinger or whatever his name is, Bilderberg, Bilderberg, or whatever his name is. I'm going to call him Butterfinger just to keep it simple. No disrespect, but it's hard to say his last name, Bilderjig, whatever it is. Anyway, he's got some junk on him now. It was probably planted by a far right-wing freak anyway. But anyway, that's the way it's going to be. Maybe a gay guy will get in there with a black woman. Hell, that would be the best thing to happen, right? So, nothing can be straight on the left. And just watch Joe Biden's entry there. That was a joke. Sleepy Joe. He is Sleepy Joe. Actually, one of the guys in the audience was yawning at the end. If you saw that clip, it's pretty funny. But anyway, just a tidbit of thought on how men are just getting bashed in society today, that their place is out of order now, and God forbid if you're a man in society today, what you have to go through to get an edge. Peace out, people.